Um, I've been thinking now about that. What is heaven like? You know the love is patient, love is kind, does not envy, does not boast, is not rude, and not self-seeking, not easily angered, keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Have you heard that? Have you heard those words before? Usually, where do we usually hear them? At a wedding, right? You usually hear that at a wedding, not a funeral. But what were the last words? Love never fails. Never fails. But if you keep reading, still in 1 Corinthians, track with me here. This is what is heaven like? Got this awesome description. It sounds like Andy. Okay? Listen to what Paul has to say. He's still talking about love. Listen to this. Now we know in part. Now we speak in part. When perfection comes, the imperfect disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. Maybe you've heard that part. I always used to think that was about growing up. Doesn't that seem like that's what he said? When I was a child, I acted like a child. When I became a man, I put away child. I grew up. But if we read carefully here, that's not what Paul is talking. He's not talking about growing up. Now we see, I'm reading this straight, I'm not jumping around. Now we see but a poor reflection like in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Then we shall see face to face. I think Andy now sees face to face. I think when Paul said, when I was a child, I think he means all of us now, it's like we're children. We don't really understand, and we know a little bit, and we see a little bit, but this says, when we see face to face, then I will know fully, even as I am fully known. Then he said, now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. What am I getting at? I think Paul is talking about love here. This is what it's like, and we always hear those verses at a wedding. But when he starts saying, once I was a child, and when I became a man, I put away childish things. And then he says, now I know in part, and then I will know fully, and then I will see face to face, not like in a mirror with a poor reflection. I think what Paul is saying is, hey, we do the best we can do here now with love. But if we know the love of Jesus Christ, we go to heaven. God is love. And I think that heaven is a place where there is only, always, ever perfect love. We could go elsewhere in the Bible, and the Bible is very clear. There's nothing impure in heaven. Only those who are pure can go to heaven. Nothing unloving in heaven. Think of that. Think of a place where everybody is patient. Absolutely, always patient. Imagine a world where everybody is always kind. Imagine a life where envy does not exist. Nobody boasts. No one is ever rude. Nobody ever says or does anything that is in any way self-seeking. in this world, even love half the time has an ulterior motive, doesn't it? We do something out of love, but we're loving, but reality is we've got some ulterior motive. In heaven, there is no self-seeking. So everything that's ever said and ever done is not for selfish reasons. Always protect, always trust, always perseveres. Love never fails. I believe that your dad is in a world, first and foremost, there is God, and God is love, and not just God, but everybody else who's there already. Anybody you know went to heaven. There's been a transformation that takes place. All that baggage that you and I would carry with us, frustration, anger, all of your hurt from the past, any bitterness you might have. You ever find yourself getting frustrated or impatient? Resentful? Imagine a world where you went there and you left. I mean, never mind anybody else. I'd love to just get rid of all of that from my own heart and be in a world where everybody else is like that. I think that's a piece of heaven. And I think Andy is in a world of love, and God is in the middle of that, and He is love, the ultimate example and source of love, and everybody who is there, including Andy, has been transformed so that this love is patient, love is kind, does not envy, does not boast, is not rude, not self-seeking. All of this, everybody there really is like that. I think that's where Andy's at. And we got Jesus Christ is the ultimate example of that. It demonstrates, I mean, talk about not being self-seeking. He sacrificed His life to save us. I think that's where Andy is, and I think Andy is doing great. I think Andy's happy. We say a prayer. God, I thank you. Thank you that you are love, and that you have created a place that's always, only, ever filled with love. God, I thank you for Andy's faith in Jesus Christ and the love of Christ on that cross sacrifice for us. Andy believed that. Your word says that if we trust in the love of Christ, then we can go to a place filled with love. And so we thank you for the comfort we have in Andy and his faith, knowing where he is. God, as we continue and we celebrate Andy's life and the pictures on the screen and the sharing of stories, I pray that we would treasure Andy, his memory. I pray that we'd also learn from Andy and his faith, his love, that he lived here. May we be a little like Andy in love. In Jesus' name I pray. We've got some, that's a great shot right there. We've got a vignette. I'd like to thank Chris Beatty for spending time and putting together, we want to show a bunch of pictures that move more rapidly, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. And some of this music is some of your dad's favorite. That's cool. So we're going to spend a few minutes and just kind of sit back and enjoy the pictures, and maybe we can kill the stage light. That would be awesome. And after that, we're gonna put some microphones out, and maybe the guys could go ahead and do that now. But we're gonna put some microphones out, and you've got some friends and family and whatnot who are going to share. So if you've been asked to share after these pictures, we're going to ask you to come on up. Please use the microphone so that we can hear you and so forth. But let's kind of sit back and enjoy these pictures.